Excuse me?
Yes?
Do you do tattoos?
Yes, I do tattoos.
What tattoos do you do?
Well, there are 2 tattoos that I do. The 2 tattoos that I do... Hang on a minute. You sound like the 2 Ronnies here. Start again.
I was thinking of getting a tattoo.
You've come to the right place. Now, this is our most popular one.
Yeah.
Yeah? Well, if you want to spend a bit more money...
No.
Well, how about this? I can tattoo an English-Spanish dictionary onto your entire body.
What's the point of that?
Well, if you want a cup of tea in Spain, you just take your trousers down. Mind you, don't order a Battenberg or you get deported. Right, how about this? I can tattoo an entire suit onto your naked body. Jacket, shirt, trousers.
What about the underpants?
Well, we'd have to make your own arrangements.
No, I'm not keen on that.
Of course, some people like the idea of a tattoo, but they think they might get sick of it. So it's best to spend a couple of weeks thinking about one that you really want, and then get it tattooed on your next door neighbour. That way you can see it whenever you like, and if you get fed up with it, just move house.
No, I don't want any of those.
What do you want?
Well, I'm involved in amateur dramatics, and in our next production I'm playing the part of a punk.
Oh, I see.
So I am the Antichrist, and I want it tattooed on my face.
You do realise a tattoo is permanent. You won't be able to get it off.
Oh, that's all right. It'll come in handy.
Why is that?
I'm a property developer.
I'll get the ink.
Oh, what the hell's going on?
We're police officers. We've got to walk the search place.
Well, what do you want?
We're looking for your husband, Mrs. Newman.
Frank's not here. He wouldn't be so stupid.
Here, you take upstairs.
Oh, look, why can't you just leave me alone? You've already turned this place over twice.
Mrs. Newman, your Frank was sprung from Wandsworth Nick 3 weeks ago. I have reason to believe he is somewhere in this house.
I tell you, he's not here. Look, we've split up. My new bloke's upstairs. Now, I'd hardly be carrying on with him if Frank was in the house.
What's through here?
Look, I'm telling you, you're wasting your time. He's not here. You've got no right. This is harassment. That's what it is.
I see you have a dog, Mrs. Newman.
Yes, that's Snowy. As you can see, my husband's not here, Inspector, so if you wouldn't mind...
Does Snowy get up to any tricks, Mrs. Newman? Chasing cars, running after sticks, that sort of thing?
Does a few tricks, but I don't think...
Maybe he'll do a couple of tricks for me. Snowy? Good boy. Play dead, Snowy. Good boy. Beg for a chop drop, Snowy. Good boy. Roll over, Snowy. Aren't you a good boy? Now phone me a taxi. Now that's what I call a clever dog. He didn't even bother looking up the number.
Frank, you bloody idiot.
Constable, arrest that dog. Stick a bone in it.
What the hell's going on?
They've arrested Frank.
Thank God for that.
What do you mean?
He wanted to sleep up on the bed every night.
Marvellous. Like a lot of people, I have this terrible fear about old age. Obviously, I want to live as long as I can. I just don't want to end up in some old people's home, dribbling down my cardigan, while a nurse wipes me arse with a J-cloth. It's not an unreasonable ambition, is it? Old people are treated very badly, but I often wonder how old people were treated 300 years ago. But there's no way of knowing, so I asked the question in the first place. Waste of time, isn't it? Of course, nowadays, if you get an incurable illness, you can have yourself frozen, and then they can thaw you out when they find a cure. My uncle wanted to be frozen, but he didn't have any money, so we did it on the cheap. At the first sign of a cough, we took him down to B-Jams and bunged him in with the oven chips. It's handy, You can go down and visit him and pick up a couple of cod steaks at the same time. My father's still up and about, he's very lively. My father used to be a memory man. He was a memory man on the music halls for 35 years. When I was 7, he sat me down, he said, "Son, what's the difference between a memory man and an undertaker?" I said, "I don't know." He said, "Well, a memory man remembers convoluted facts from the rear of his cranium and an undertaker buries people." Do you know, I've never forgotten that. Of course, there was an intense rivalry between the memory men and the conjurers. They'd meet up every year, August Bank Holiday, Brighton. The memory men would go down on the coach, singing, drinking, chanting their way through the population of China in alphabetical order. The conjurers would be down on the seafront causing trouble, forcing people against their will at knife point to pick a card, look at it and put it back again. One year they got completely drunk. They levitated a deck chair attendant 200 feet up in the air and left him. He died after 3 weeks. He'd have died sooner if some old woman hadn't been catapulting meat pies up him every half hour. People can be cruel. A friend of mine's just gone to visit his father in hospital. His father said, "When I go, everything I've got is coming to you." And he's got an hereditary disease. His father held up the medical notes. He said, "Take a good look at this, son, because one day all this is going to be yours."
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Colin. I heard you had moved up to E-Wing this morning.
Yeah, the governor thought I could do with a nice change, so he put me in charge of the maximum security wing. Good crossword, is it?
Not bad. I'm stuck on the last clue.
What is it?
Convict, 5 letters.
So what's the problem?
I've put in bastard, but it doesn't fit. You're late for tea, aren't you?
I know I'm late for tea. This morning, I had the contents of a full chamber pot emptied over my head.
Which prisoner did that?
Prisoner, it was the wife. Forgot her birthday again. Yeah, you can't see any of it left in my head.
No.
I'm borrowing your comb.
No, it's fine, honestly. So how's things on E-Wing?
All right, you been busy down here?
Fairly. I've been keeping an eye on Rawlins.
Well, what's he been up to?
Well, you know he controls the supply of illegal tobacco in this prison.
Yeah, they say you can't have a smoke without his say-so.
I reckon he's taking liberties.
What do you mean?
He's opened up a kiosk. You all right, Smithy?
Yeah.
Why does he wear his cap like that?
Well, you see the way the peak comes right down over his eyes?
Yeah.
Well, behind that peak is a little cinema screen. And when he gets bored, he puts on a film.
How do you know that, then?
I put on the wrong hat one morning and watched 10 minutes of Mary Poppins.
So that's why he's so quiet.
Oh, yeah. Mind you, he gets into trouble occasionally. He had Gone with the Wind on the other day and he had to see the governor. The governor said you're being transferred to the scrubs and his hat said, "Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn."
I see Pendry's back working in the kitchen block again.
He must be up for parole soon.
I think he's already spoilt his chances of that. He keeps asking for conjugal visits.
What's wrong with that?
He wants them with Elizabeth Taylor.
We haven't had an escape for a long while.
Well, there was that bloke last year, Keeble, was it? The one that was in for armed robbery. He overpowered a prison officer and stole his uniform.
So what happened?
Oh, he's in charge of D-Wing now. He's one of the best officers we've got.
Do you remember McGuinness?
McGuinness.
You know, Pee-wee McGuinness. Funny sort of bloke. He escaped by disguising himself as a cloud. Cumulonimbus, I think it was. Slipped out of his cell window, hovered over the PE block for half an hour, and then rose to a height of 15,000 feet. It's quite clever, really.
What happened to him?
He was hit by a plane. Mind you, you got to hand it to him. He only had a pair of sheets and a bicycle pump. Oh, is that the time already?
Is he all right?
Yeah, he's all right. Lassie's just come home.